The huge success of New Horizons catapulted Animal Crossing into being one of Nintendo's main franchises. This is evidenced by how much we see them use the characters in promotional material for events, on their official websites, and in so many other ways. Despite the fact that the game got effectively abandoned by Nintendo, they still see it as one of their evergreen games and franchises, something that people continuously keep picking up and playing throughout the years. Eventually though, a new game will come. Whether this is a spin-off or a completely new entry like New Horizons was, it's practically guaranteed with how much money Animal Crossing has and still is making Nintendo. But whatever this new game is, it already has one big problem before it even releases, and it's a little bit worrying for the future of the franchise. Whilst New Horizons being so successful is great in terms of us getting a new game, it also means that the next Animal Crossing game practically has no chance of performing nearly as well as New Horizons did. Given that New Horizons released in March 2020, when most of us had a lot more free time, this game couldn't have come out at a better time for Nintendo. Now, whilst I do think it still would have been an incredibly successful game on the Switch, and easily the best-selling Animal Crossing title, it's safe to say that it probably wouldn't have gotten the unprecedented sales it did without the timing of its release. I mean, New Horizons is the best-selling game of all time in Japan, which is insane to think about. Consider that it beat the original Pokemon games in terms of sales, which is almost indescribable in terms of how impactful that is. And whilst the franchise as a whole is now popular enough to still have more successful games in the future, it's really hard to imagine that any of them could ever compare to this success. And that could be bad for the franchise if Nintendo sees Animal Crossing games not performing as much as they would like them to. We've seen Nintendo disregard other franchises in the past when they didn't quite get the sales that Nintendo were hoping for. Now, I'm sure Nintendo is already aware of the factors that caused the huge success for New Horizons, and hopefully it doesn't mean that the next release for the franchise is seen as a letdown from their point of view, as realistically it'll never meet the same success. Still though, with how many new players have become fans for life due to this game, it's safe to say that the next game will probably still be one of the best selling in the entire franchise. Not on New Horizons level of course, but still I think even more successful than games like New Leaf. Hopefully said success will also encourage them to support the game for longer too, because I really wish they were still updating this game. Another interesting fact though that you might not know is that New Horizons' success can also be attributed to Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. This was the first time that so many people had played the franchise as that game was free. I made videos before New Horizons launched, and half the people excited for the game back then had actually come from Pocket Camp as their first entry, so it's safe to say that New Horizons was destined for success in one way or another, we just don't know how much. Either way, it will be interesting to see how that success impacts the future of the games, whether it could be a big positive and we see a lot more content for Animal Crossing, or if Nintendo feels a bit wary to release things because they're worried it just can't perform as well as New Horizons did. Hopefully they'll use the success to make the franchise even better, because there are so many improvements I would like to see, especially things that we had in the past games before New Horizons. Let me know your thoughts down below though. Do you think this could be a problem for Animal Crossing's next game, or do you think it's actually a good thing that New Horizons was so successful? And how do you think it's impacted the franchise itself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you made it to the end, also be sure to comment Bob's Gang so I know that you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more.